Hey guys, against the backdrop of Ripple's victory, the Stellar project has been growing at 100% per day. It's an analog of Ripple, but with much more growth potential. Who are the big players behind Stellar, and what are its chances of becoming one of the top 10 cryptocurrencies? Let's find out. Following the tradition of the Coin Post channel, let's start with analyzing the coin with its rather interesting history. Then we'll discuss the current situation and break down the XLM price prediction. But first, you should clearly understand the difference between Stellar and XLM. Stellar is the network created to connect banks, payment systems, and people to facilitate low-cost, cross-border, and cross-asset financial transactions. For example, people in developing countries can use this platform to quickly make payments and buy goods without having access to a bank account. And XLM is a token, which we'll talk about later. Stellar is great for countries with high inflation and poor banking systems like Argentina, Zimbabwe, and others. Another issue is that the government of such countries definitely doesn't welcome new technology that takes away their power over the people. But more on that later. Behind Stellar is a technology company called Stellar Development Foundation, founded by Jed McCaleb in 2014. Does that name sound familiar? This is the guy who was the founder and CTO of Ripple Protocol in 2011, before leaving that position in 2013 and founding Stellar. Jed also founded the first major Bitcoin exchange, Mt. Gox, in 2009, which went on to account for 80% of the entire crypto market before its sad demise. Let's take a look at some of the other notable personalities behind Stellar. Lin-Hua Wu, responsible for communications at Google. Ronaldo Lemos is on the board of directors of the Mozilla Foundation and a member of the board of directors of Facebook. But that's not all about Stellar's roots. In 2019, the founders of the payment service Stripe invested $3 million in a sit-down round at Stellar. For those who don't know, Stripe closed a $6.5 billion round in March at a $50 billion valuation. In addition to investors like Sequoia, A16Z, and Goldman Sachs, Doja favorite Elon Musk also invested in Stripe. Recently, there was a rebranding where Twitter became X. Musk integrated X with Stripe's payment service. Maybe at some point he will use Stellar as an alternative to Stripe for developing countries. This will give a massive boost to the XLM token and the entire Stellar ecosystem. Now let's look at the XLM token, as it is important to understand the origin and value of the asset. Initially, 100 billion tokens were issued. But then, in 2019, the SDF decided to burn half of all the coins and keep 50 billion. This event caused the price to rise, as burning has a positive effect on the price. But on the other hand, many considered this fact as price manipulation and lack of decentralization. After all, the SDF itself decides what to do with the coins and does not ask their owners. Now there are 27 billion XLM on offer with a total capitalization of $3.8 billion, which is huge. Here we are approaching the breakdown of the current situation. But first, let's get 100 likes, which motivates me a lot and helps promote the video and recommendations. Once again, Stellar was remembered when Ripple won the case against the SEC, and the XLM token grew 100% in one day. So what does XRP have to do with XLM? Many are rightly calling Stellar the Ripple killer. However, if you dig deeper, these two projects can coexist in the market together. Ripple is a blockchain for corporations, while Stellar is for retail investors and CBDCs. For example, the transaction fee on the Stellar network is 1/1000th of a cent, and the bandwidth allows for up to 1,000 transactions per second. All of this makes blockchain easy to integrate into payment services. Sure, there are blockchains with more bandwidth, like Solana, but remember how many times the Solana network went down due to network congestion. Stellar has many use cases and applications for the blockchain. In addition to cross-border payments, these include tokenization of real estate or other assets, P2P payments, easy availability of the technology, and even refugee programs. It's fair to point out Stellar's real-world use cases. In partnership with MoneyGram, they have enabled users in Kenya, Uganda, Nigeria, and other African countries to freely exchange USDC for cash. Brazil is considering launching its own CBDC on the Stellar blockchain. For now, these are just plans, although there was already a pilot in 2020, but it looks like there's still a lot of tweaking to be done. On July 31, Stellar launched Soroban, a powerful smart contract platform designed specifically for developers. It's now possible to build smart contract applications on Stellar, which means DeFi is coming soon. As you can see, blockchain is not standing still and it's gearing up for a bull market. In 2021, one of Ukraine's commercial banks announced a partnership with Stellar and plans to launch a digital national currency on this blockchain. Then the war forced reprioritization, but even in 2023, Ukraine's Minister of Digital Transformation announced plans to launch a digital hryvnia and pay salaries in it. This is part of the plan to digitize the country. Who knows, maybe Stellar will have a hand in this, as the blockchain is predisposed to launch CBDC. But let's not forget that CBDC is not about freedom, but about total control over everyone's spending. Therefore, we shouldn't get too excited about the future of CBDC. Technologies are good, but first of all, it's important for us that the XLM token grows and pleases its owners. And that's why we're going to break down XLM's chart and predict its future price. Stay tuned. Traditionally, let's start by analyzing the weekly chart to understand the big picture. Here I have drawn two zones, accumulation and distribution. As you can see, the price is now gradually moving out of the accumulation zone. In the history of XLM, as in almost every crypto asset, there was a period of accumulation and periods of growth. Now we have already crossed the equator in terms of accumulation period, so don't yawn, the price can surge at any moment. Also, don't forget that the majority of XLM tokens are still in the same hands. It's the founders of the project who decide when to pump the price and when to hold back. Let's go back to the charts. On the daily time frame, the situation looks like this. Against the backdrop of Ripple's victory in court, the price of XLM has left the accumulation zone, and now those who took profits are selling coins. The 20 cents level remains key. Sooner or later, the price will come back and test this zone, as there is a lot of liquidity accumulated there, and the price likes liquidity. Overall, Stellar has the potential to renew the past all-time high. The project is growing, working with companies and countries, and it could be integrated into Twitter or used for the CBDC launch. I have no doubts about the future of XLM. But remember that I'm not giving financial advice, just sharing my thoughts. What is my strategy for XLM? For projects like this, I prefer to use the DCA strategy, which allows you to regularly buy a coin at a favorable price without relying on emotions. Those who bought XLM at the beginning of the last bear market and sold in the bull market made 400%. I don't know if the situation will repeat itself, but things are looking up. Give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Your Coin Post.